Hello people, I'm Yoda430 and Happy New Year! As my New Year revelation, I'm gonna take a different direction in content. Instead of mindlessly yapping, today I will showcase my tips on making object show assets. Does this even count as a commentary video? My life, my rules. My style, my attitude. So yes, today's video is quite simple and short, unlike my past two videos. I'm gonna give you a few tips and tricks I've learned throughout the years. Just remember, you don't need to follow this. Like, oh no, I didn't make my assets like the Yoda430 told me. I'm a failure. Nope, you're doing a great job even if you're not taking my advice. I just need to make a video. Also, instead of yapping about one tip for an entire generation, I'm gonna do it quickly so you can move on with your day and play with Buzz Lightyear and Brawl Stars or whatever your kids play nowadays. Anyways, once again, tap this down below to find certain tips and let's begin. Tip 1. Same brush size. Okay, my first tip, which you should actually follow. If you don't follow this, you're a failure. Throw that damn work away. Nobody likes you, you suck. Is your assets should be the same brush size. Now, what is a brush size? Well, here are two lines. Notice a difference? Well, one line is thicker because each brush size is bigger than the others. And here are two assets. Notice anything? They don't look normal. That's because they're not the same brush size. So, my first advice is when making assets, make sure they have a similar brush size. They don't need to be the exact number, just be around 10 numbers near. Tip 2. Update your assets. Okay, I lied. Actually listen to everything I say. If you don't follow this either, you're unloved, a failure, give up. You should update your assets. Now what does this mean, Dave? It's really simple. Here's some of my characters. Notice how they look pretty well designed. And then this one looks a bit off. Well, they have not been updated for half a year, while the others have had slight tweaks to look better. Here's how they used to look like before. And with that, I remade her asset in 10 minutes, and now she looks a lot more modern and fits with the other characters. This goes for real shows as well. Eventually, you'll get better at making assets, and you should update your old ones. Tip 3. Shading. Okay, let's say you draw an asset for a coin and this is what you come up with. What is this? This is a ball. But I'm gonna call this character a coin. That is not a coin. That is a ball. So if any of you don't know what shading is, it's basically... Okay, what is shading? Shading is the technique of adding value, lightness or darkness, to a drawing or object to create the illusion of depth, texture and dimension. It involves manipulating shadows and highlights to simulate how light will interact with the object, making it appear three-dimensional. Common shading methods include hatching, cross-hatching, stippling and blending. Shading is widely used in art, design and 3D training to enhance realism and visual interest. That's what shading is. So if you make your coin have the shading of a ball, that's gonna be a ball. If you want to make a coin, add a shine. In fact, here's a sheet I made for each shading method. Be sure to screenshot this and buy my YouTube membership. It's really good. 99 cents a month. Can you believe it? You get early access to videos and my amazing posts. And you should also choose what kind of shading you want on your assets. Blur or no blur. I started out with my show characters having blurred shading on their assets, but realized I don't like it. So I updated every asset to not have blurred assets. So experiment a little with how you want your assets to look like and then do what you want. Tip 4. Brightness. Okay, look at two of my characters here. Do you notice something? Obviously you do. The brightnesses are completely different. If you have a show and the characters have two different brightnesses, that can make the assets inconsistent, just like the other factors I mentioned. So what I want you to do is just make your dark assets brighter. Nothing special. You don't need to do a lot unless you're a BFTIA contestant. Just a little quality of life change. Tip 5. Collaborate. Make your assets satisfying to look at. Make them pretty. Like if you want to make an asset with this color palette, like yeah, you can make it look good, but it looks better if you make it colors that are similar to each other. Tip 6 accessories. I had this archer candy guide in my show and the design is kinda empty. So I gave him my top hat and suddenly there's much more personality and it looks much better. What I'm trying to say is nobody stopping you from adding accessories to your characters. I have this purple cool hair for my spray, glasses and mold that's hair for my moldy cheese character. She was great at months before lunch sleep, please shut up. And the hammer, eye patch and top hat for this green onyx. So go wild with your dreams and add whatever you want. And that's about it.
Oh, why isn't this video any longer?
If you really want a longer video, I uploaded 2 videos in December that are 15 minutes together, so go watch those. Anyways, thanks for watching, hope you follow my tips. Anyways, I'm Ready420, you might know me for these videos, so go check out my channel and maybe subscribe. Have a nice rest of the day and see you next time. Bye bye!